Hello, Rama Rama Pupod. Hope all are in good health, feeling great, wonderful, having a happy and peaceful life. Now let's continue with the next part. There is a venerable son of Islam who's attired in a long black silk coat, buttoned around his neck, black cap, embroidered in gold, on his head, with white pajama trousers gathered around his legs, while his shoes provide an artistic finish to his dress, for they are daintily made with red and green threadwork. There is a beetle browed Marathi from western India, a gold turbaned Marwari who, like many members of his race, is a moneylender, and a stout Brahmin lawyer from the south. They are all men of some wealth, for they are attended by personal servants who dart out of their third class carriages at most stopping places to enquire after their master's welfare. The Mohammedan gives me a single glance, closes his eyes, and drifts off into vacuous sleep. The Marathi busies himself in conversation with the Marwari. The Brahmin has recently entered the train. He has yet to settle down. I am in one of my talkative moods, but there is no one to whom I can talk. The invisible barrier between West and East seems to divide me from all the others. I feel cheered, therefore, when the rubicund Brahmin pulls out a book whose English title, Life of Ramakrishna, I cannot help seeing so boldly it printed upon the cover. I seize the bait and bring him into conversation. Has not someone once told me that Ramakrishna was the last of the rishis, those spiritual supermen? Upon this point, I engage my fellow traveler, and he is eager to respond. We ascend the heights of philosophical discussion and descend into talk on the homelier aspects of Indian life. Whenever he mentions the name of the rishi, his voice fills with love and awe, and his eyes light up. The reality of his devotion to this long past man is indubitable. Within 2 hours, I learned that the Brahmin has a master who is one of the two or three surviving disciples of the great Ramakrishna himself. This master of his is nearly 80 years old and lives not in some lonely retreat but in the heart of Calcutta's Indian quarter. Of course, I beg for the address and it is freely given. You will need no introduction other than your own desire to see him, says the lawyer. And so I am now in Calcutta itself, searching for the house of the master Mahasaya, the aged disciple of Ramakrishna. Passing through an open courtyard which adjoins the street, I reach a steep flight of steps leading into a large, rambling old house. I climb up a dark stairway and pass through a low door on the top story. I find myself in a small room which opens out onto the flat, terraced roof of the house. Two of its walls are lined with low divans, save for the lamp and a small pile of books and papers. The room is otherwise bare. A young man enters and bids me to wait for the coming of his master, who is on a lower floor. 10 minutes pass. I hear the sound of someone stirring from a room on the floor below out into the stairway. Immediately, there is a tingling sensation in my head, and the idea suddenly grips me that the man downstairs has fixed his thoughts upon me. I hear the man's footsteps going up the stairs when at last, for he moves with extreme slowness, he enters the room. I need no one to announce his name. A venerable patriarch has stepped from the pages of the Bible, and a figure from Mosaic times has turned to flesh. This man with bald head, long white beard and white moustache, grave countenance and large reflective eyes. This man, whose shoulders are slightly bent with the burden of nearly 80 years of mundane existence, can be none other than the Master Mahasaya. He takes his seat on a divan and then turns his face towards mine. Let's continue in the next chapter. Thank you. Bye bye. Rama Rama Puppodu.